up your shaft.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, non-encyclopedic Star Trek, the original series, Star Trek rewatch. Welcome to Trek in the Valley. We talk about an episode of Star Trek. We do it in the San Fernando Valley. That's it. I am Adam Ordahl Quinnell, and as always, I'm here with my delightful co-host.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Al Hirt here. What's up?
Mr. Al Hirt. What is up, indeed? Well, I'll tell you what's up. We're going to talk about fucking Star Trek, dude.
Of course.
As we do every week. And this week is no exception. We are continuing our own trek through the animated series. And of course, we're just getting right into it. We have to start with our first segment of the day.
Oh, yeah.
What does Al remember? Pretty straightforward, Al. What do you remember about last week's episode?
Let's
start with something. Let's start with the title. Do you remember the title?
No idea.
Okay, let me try and give you some hints. It's one of the words in it is a popular reality television competition show. A classic one of the first.
A reality show? A competition? Survivor? Oh, The Survivor.
The Survivor.
Yeah,
got it in two, baby. Yeah. And what the fuck is it about, though, dude?
Oh, yes. It was about, because I'm getting these aliens in this episode mixed up with the other ones in the last episode.
We just got a brain full of alien soup at this point.
Yeah, and it's this guy basically is what is it called? He's like metamorphosizing and like changing from a person to an alien, I guess.
No, he's a spy that can change shapes.
Yeah, shapeshifter.
He's
That's
a Vendorian.
the word I was gonna say. Metamorphosizing's like a lot more complicated.
Yeah, metamorphosizing is like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. This guy was like
that takes a lot longer.
This guy was like an octopus man that knocks you out with his tentacle, being limp over your neck. Like
that's true.
You get a limp tentacle on your neck, and then you fall asleep. You wake up an hour later, and you're in the neutral zone.
Yeah, right. So basically, it was this octopus man looking seed thing attacking. Well, not attacking, but just exploring the Enterprise, quote unquote, freaking out. I guess what his end goal is to just escape, right, or take over the Enterprise.
His whole deal was
he fell in love with the
fiance of the man whose shape he took. But the Vendorian was sent there by the Romulans to trick the Enterprise into coming into the neutral zone.
And that the Romulans were like, that sounds so unbelievable. How could you do that, Kirk?
Yeah, they're like, Kirk, remember they said, Kirk, you must be addicted to fucking with the neutral zone.
Yeah, but there was a lot of like moments that was funny of lapses of Kirk being like, I never said that. And Spock shows him the literal recording.
I got a question for you. The guy...
the Vendorian?
The Vendorian, who was he pretending to be when they found him?
I don't know the name of the guy, but it was some guy who was missing for 5 years.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was in the border because he was missing from the border of the neutral zone.
Well, yeah, he was his motherfucking like Winston. Carter Winston.
Winston.
He was a benevolent guy. He benevolently he was the good billionaire.
Yeah, that's right. He was a great philanthropist, and
saved
Bones was like, my daughter, she would have starved if you didn't, donate $10 million to this cause.
My daughter was going to school when the crop failure happened. I'm Bones McCoy.
And you're like, why does he sound like that?
Yeah, he goes. I was here when the crop failure happened. Hey, I'm just a simple country space doctor. But yeah, so what happens and then the fucking Carter Winston's fiance happened to be a security officer on the ship.
Spock's like, who'd be really excited to see you? Your fiance.
And he's like,
what?
He pulled at his collar. Anne is on the ship, but obviously he fell.
Then he ends up being the shield of the Enterprise.
He somehow, I think, okay.
He disables the shield and he's like, you know what? Fuck.
He falls in love with, because he met this Carter Winston guy and nursed like he was his hospice guy, basically. He's a hospice squid.
Yes.
and so he assumed Carter's identity to infiltrate a Federation ship. But what's most
the twist, right?
Yeah,
is that like the aliens, when they shapeshift into the other person's form, they take their memories and their feelings and their emotions.
They become them.
And he's like, oh man, my wife.
Yeah,
my wife's on the Enterprise.
Now I love this person. I think, and so he becomes the shield, right?
Yeah,
but
like, what?
So I don't think he became the shield outside the ship. I think he became whatever little component that had been taken out of the shield. I've been thinking about this for 4 days since we recorded. And I think he just became the little transistor that he broke earlier. Yeah, right. But then, so then what happens? They end up doing what?
Oh, he comes back and he's like, Anne, how could you love me in my real form? And she's like, I can make it work.
She's like, well, clearly I don't give a shit about what people look like. I almost fucked Scotty.
Yeah, right. And then do they let him go?
No, he goes to prison with Anne as his guard.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so funny because Bones is like, you don't think that might be kind of fucked up? And Kirk's like, nah, I don't give who gives a shit?
Yeah, at this point he'll change into whatever.
Who gives a fuck? Just get them off my fucking ship.
Yeah, pretty much. I felt like it was a very straightforward episode.
I liked it.
And the more we're getting into these, it's like more and more apparent that these are just bonus special episodes of the original series.
Yeah, they just cut them down.
Kids are just, I don't know. I guess they'll process some parts of it, but some other parts it's like whatever.
I remember when I learned that a wet tentacle on your neck will immediately make you fall asleep, and it was when I watched The Survivor, Star Trek, the animated series. Mm-hmm. That was good. That was last week. That's what we did last week.
Yes.
I don't have a theme yet for this week on Trek in the Valley, but I want to do like a getting into the meat theme, because then we'll have the 3 segments for when we do Next Generation. But so last week was The Survivor. This week we're talking about the Infinite Vulcan. And this episode was written by motherfucking Walter Koenig, motherfucker. Hey. What? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I think that's very, and it's a doozy. Like, because this is about plant people, right? Like, imagine Walter Koenig with a cup of coffee, sitting at his fucking typewriter in 1972, like writing a 22-page script, and then the plant guys, like, oh man, it fucking rips, dude. It's so good. This episode aired originally on October 20th, 1973.
Oh, okay.
And the synopsis from Paramount Plus is that's last week. Hold on. Hold on. This week, the Infinite Vulcan. I guess I didn't do hold on here. Okay. So this aired on October 23rd, 27th, 1973. And the synopsis is: a mad scientist has developed a race of intelligent plant life. That is not what happens in this episode. I think this is the worst synopsis we've ever had. I cannot believe that's what the synopsis is. Hold on.
It doesn't give anything away, but it's just one piece of nothing.
No. Not only does it not give anything away, it's wrong. He doesn't develop the race of plant life. He discovers it and almost kills it with a disease by mistake. And those plants just happen to also be Nazis. Like that's the big reveal at the end.
No, but we know peace. We just want to
plant the fucking peace on everybody. But yeah, so this episode is the Infinite Vulcan, and we got to talk about this again.
Yeah, this episode was kind of confusing.
At the end we have to talk about how fucking stupid. Well, first off, the use of mad is kind of a spoiler in there. Like, obviously he's a fucking crazy scientist. eugenicist. But yeah, so here we go. Press play on the goddamn thing. So this is the Infinite Vulcan. It's we watched the animated series on Paramount Plus. They don't give us any money. In fact, I pay them.
Yeah, to watch this.
I pay them to watch the thing for my fucking podcast, where all I'm doing is promoting their content for them. And we get the Enterprise zooming around out there. Gosh, I love it. I love this intro. I hate to skip it, but I'm gonna. And so this episode has a great title card because it says it was written by Walter Koenig, and they should have that in parentheses, Chekhov. I think that he should have written himself, why didn't he write Chekhov into the episode? It should have been it opens with Chekhov having won a wrestling match or something.
Or doing a, what is it, captain's log or a log?
Yeah, yes. Admiral's log.
Admiral's log, yeah.
Admiral's log, Admiral Chekhov. So they've been ordered to survey a new planet in the recently discovered at the periphery of the galaxy. Always at the edge of the galaxy, these people. And there's no life readings, but there's readings of some kind of power. They've really been cheaping out. They have a great painting of the environment, but then they just have the cast as shadows. Don't have their... That probably... I wonder how much per frame that saves them.
For sure. They've been doing that a lot with their wider shots lately.
Fucking Sulu,
just
dude.
rather than zooming in and stuff on the things they already have. But I mean, we'll see it later when they finally have to mess with, scale and all that they're using the full model.
Right, dude. So I have got to say, fucking, they find this mobile plant. It looks like a little purple pom-pom that's got little feet. And Sulu's like, I think it likes me. And Kirk says, we always encourage our officers to make friends with the natives. And so they're going to leave Sulu here and go away. And this is one of my big pet peeves in sci-fi. Sulu, Prometheus style, just picks up the plant.
Yeah, right.
It immediately stings him. He says, ow, it must have been a thorn. And it's that is some Prometheus-ass exobiologist shit. You fucking know you're not supposed to pick up a plant. It definitely is full of poisons.
And shove your face right into it.
Right? Ridiculous. And then
it just scatters away.
And then they find a huge... Yeah, and then it just trots away and goes back into the ground.
And you're like, whoa.
Then they find a huge laboratory... Mm-hmm. And Bones is about to find some shit, find some light. He's got a life reading, of a weird life reading, and then they hear Sulu scream almost as though he's been poisoned by an alien plant.
And they go outside, and it's a hard cut to Sulu just sleeping on the ground, and they're like, "Oh wow, I think it was a toxin."
And then a bunch of plant men show up, and these plant men, they look like they've got alligator skin heads.
Yeah.
And they don't know who they are. This plant man says he can save Sulu by giving him a little drop of glop from his weird fucking appendage. And Bones is like, I'm not going to let you give him some goddamn alien dewdrop.
Yeah. Right.
I love that he says alien dewdrop, which is like snake oil or whatever. And then the plant is like, but if I don't, your Sulu is going to die. And then this is when Spock says these things are of biological origins. It's like, yeah, man, they're fucking plants. He says they're not of biological origin, they're of botanical origin.
Yeah. And
it's like, yeah, no shit. As a fucking plant. I could have told you that. They're on the planet Phylos. That's for plant. Phylos means plant.
Yeah, and they have this really interesting build, though, just like the last aliens. Whereas they have a bigger head, though, and a longer legs, but it's more like a trunk, a darker trunk.
And then they have this. It's like a skirt below their shoulders, and then the skirt has little plant tentacles on it.
And then they got a chain.
They also accessorize. That's a Supreme. It's a Supreme chain that the plant guy's wearing. They're like, hey, we're peaceful aliens, so we didn't do this. It was the Retlaw plant. It's deadly only if left unattended. And they're like, your medications work quick. And he's like, it's nothing. And Bones is like, our science doesn't have shit like that. We should, I want to find out what these plants are up to.
Yeah, it's more of like halfway cooperation, halfway astonishment and research, just for the Starfleet likes to, take a lot of information from new aliens and take advantage of it in the Federation.
Yeah, dude. And they say and Spock says your communication is most interesting, and that's what their chains are. It's the voter. The voter. It's a translator. Most efficient. And so there's Spock is
cool.
They said we've encountered humanoids before.
Oh yeah.
And Kirk really wants to cut to the fucking chase.
Yeah,
and they say, come on, we're going to show you. We're going to trick you and trap you for the first time.
Yeah, right.
I think the crew gets trapped, I want to say 3 times. It's probably only 2. So they take them to this room where they basically show them the giant corpses of the previous generation of Philosians, the plant people.
It's really freaky looking at that.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Pretty fucked up.
It reminds me of like a creepy Junji Ito hall, with the sunken eyes in the mouth.
Right.
And they're like stretched out.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of H.R. Giger and the aliens and the Prometheus shit. Yeah. It's like this whole, this is a very Prometheus coded episode of Star Trek, the animated series. So they're basically saying, hey, Bones says there was a plague. And then the plants explain, look, there is a human who came here and brought a plague, we all died. Most of us died, but then he helped cure the plague. And then as they were doing that, figuring that out, these weird bat, like pterodactyl looking, they're called swoopers, they call them. Yeah. They got these hilarious springs. It really reminds me of like an Aqua Teen Hunger Force villain. Like that's so they're like these purple bats that have tentacles. Whoa, those are some off-model drawings. Holy shit, hold on. There's when Sulu and Bones are tussling with the swooper, it's really off model. Look at that. They farmed that out to another studio for sure. And then they take Spock, but they leave the others. And apparently Spock has been chosen to serve the greater good. The Master has searched for many years to find a specimen like Spock.
And also, too, when they're getting, tricked and kidnapped and held down and stuff, Sulu's like, where are we going? And Kirk's like, oh, they're just holding us down. It must not be for us. And they see Spock just being flown away. They're like, no. These freaky-ass bat things with tentacles, too. They're just, like, springing in and out, those tentacles.
Springs. They just got those big springs.
They're, like, whipping back and forth.
And then shit gets real wonky. Because Kirk like grabs the main plant guy and he's like, you fucking tell me where Spock is, you plant motherfucker.
He's like, what's going on?
And then they're like, hail the Master. And then it shows their master, and the Master, praise our Master, our savior, our Master. And then we see a guy that looks like fucking Namor.
Yeah.
He looks like Namor from the Marvel of the Silver Age Namor, dude. More than he looks like anything else.
With his little staff.
With a little tiny staff. And we can't really know, we don't know yet before it goes to commercial, but he's very large. I guess they're going to show now. He's Dr. Stavros Caniculus 5. And he is fucking 50 feet tall. And Bones is like, he's clearly human. I don't know, man. How so you see a 50-foot tall guy shaped like a human in outer space and you think must be a human?
Yeah, right.
So basically he's saying I'm taking fucking Spock and you're getting the fuck out of here and there's nothing you can do about it. And we're going to have these springy bat aliens springing their springs at you. And then Kirk gets beamed up by Scotty. And now they're just on that's it.
Wow.
End of the episode. They're leaving Spock. They're leaving Spock with a giant, apparently mad scientist, as far as we can tell. The plants, God, they easily trick Kirk so many times.
Yeah, and they're already worried that obviously Spock is captured, so they're trying to stay close by and to understand this giant human mystery.
The human giant mystery, not to be confused with the sketch group Human Giant, starring Aziz Ansari and Paul Scheer and the other guy whose name I forget, but is very funny. So there's Sulu's saying, yeah, we recalibrated the shit. And we can sense that we can detect the swoopers and stuff, but we can't detect Agmar, the plant guy, or Spock, or Dr. Caniculus 5. And Uhura is scouring the library data banks to find anything about Caniculus, and she's got to figure out this info. And while they're doing that, this is something I wanted to talk about. So they're trying to detect where Spock is, and they find that there's like a power source somewhere. And so Kirk says, shoot the area with a stun phaser from orbit, and then we'll stun everything, and then we can go down and check it out, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they fucking do that all the time? Let's say they're going to like a primitive prime directive planet, right? Mm-hmm. And they need to get down there and look at something, do something without being detected. Why wouldn't they just stun fucking everybody in that city or whatever and just go down and do their thing, and then like everybody wakes up and like, what the fuck happened? Like,
I don't know. It could be like messing with like their time or their development.
Stun those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
If I was a Starfleet captain,
I don't know, maybe if it was an abandoned building in the middle of nowhere where like someone's already asleep.
They should. I'm saying they should use the I didn't even realize that because they are phasers that they have on the ship, but I didn't realize they had a stun. And they
for
do
hostile planets.
I think they do it once in the original series that I remember.
That they stun everybody before transporting?
Yeah, or they stun everybody as like just to show that they can. They're like, because they're trying to pretend to be gods or something, so they stun people. So they're going to try and go. And there's also a weapon shield or an anti-weapon field down there, so they can't use their phasers. And Sulu's like, I hope we don't have to use sticks and clubs. And Kirk's like, there may be something more effective, Mr. Sulu. So he's got Scotty working on a special project, and we find out that the special project is basically a weed killer. Because Bones' great granddaddy was a farmer, and he is going to help Scotty put together a brew of anti-plant stuff.
A brew of anti-plant stuff?
Yeah, because his great granddaddy was a farmer, and he knew how to kill plants that he didn't like.
Yeah,
and he's whipping up that recipe.
Oh, that's right.
And that's what Scotty's working on. And this is where we find out that this Caniculus fellow is an Earth scientist from, guess when? The eugenics wars. What? So let's say you're a kid on a Saturday morning and you're watching a show and they're like, this villain is a scientist from the eugenics wars. You're just like, well, I know what the word war means. Like, what if this is where a kid found out what eugenics is, you know? Then they get really into the movie Gattaca. So this guy planned to clone a perfect specimen prototype of the master race. Of course, the concept was considered anti-human, and he was banned from the community. Yep. He disappeared, just like Khan, and no further data. And then Bones says there was a tale of a modern-day Diogenes traveling the galaxy looking for someone special. Now, do you know what Diogenes is?
No.
So Diogenes is a Greek philosopher. He's also known as Diogenes the Cynic. I fucking like that guy. Also known as Diogenes the Synop, was an ancient Greek philosopher and founder of cynicism. He was a skilled orator and companion of Socrates. and he thought about Socrates' student Aristenius as a tutor.
Socrates.
I know, some fun.
Oh,
Socrates,
I
yeah.
was like, Socrates.
Cynics believe that mental clarity was life's goal, achievable through living in accordance with nature. They emphasize self-sufficiency and rejecting luxury. Diogenes believed in following reason, speaking the truth, and that slavery was unnecessary. That's a weird. This guy is not like a modern Diogenes.
What a wild take.
I think what he meant was Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah,
I think
right?
that's what Bones was talking. I think Bones was talking about Johnny Appleseed. And they're looking for a perfect specimen. And of course, Spock is that.
Of course, he's the best.
Because he's got the human humors and the Vulcan logic
organization
and organization. Yes.
Research.
Bones is like,
thoughts.
It couldn't be Caniculus. He'd be over 250 years old. And he says, not if he cloned a new copy of himself every so often to carry on his research. He was Caniculus 5. And he's 50 feet tall. Like,
True.
So why don't they talk about that more?
They
don't talk about
that's
it more.
not a big surprise.
Like,
They're just putting it off to the side.
Like, what the fuck? Like, why wasn't he like, Bones is like, but he couldn't live for 250 years. It's like, Bones, the motherfucker's 50 feet tall. He wasn't 50 feet tall 250 years ago. Perhaps the technology that allows him to be 50 feet tall also has something to do with his longevity of life. I am not a space doctor by any stripe. And so they're going to beam down the Sulu, Bones, Kirk, and Scotty are going to beam down to try and save Spock. And they've got, and Scotty's going to have the con. And he's going to go, he's going to take the ship a half hour away. And then he's going to come back in 30 minutes because they figure that's how long it's going to take for them to fuck this up or find Spock. And of course, there's no readings. They don't have life signs. They can't read life signs because, as they're going to find out, there's a cavern where the walls are 600 times denser than lead. And the swoopers are really sprung in their springs.
Yes, and then they run into what is it called? A hangar. Yeah,
full
hangar
of spaceships.
Full of spaceships, golden spaceships covered in a bunch of brush. But they're really confused though about these rocket ships because they're all kind of seeming abandoned. And Sulu was like, Agmar said that they were, peaceful people. And Bones was like, yeah, now, but what about the past?
Well, and they look like they'd been abandoned for a long time, but currently they're being cleaned up. They're like getting ready.
Yeah.
And they're like getting ready to, yeah, exactly.
And then they're just talking about how what were they planning on doing before they got genocided by this disease?
Before they got pandemicked.
Oh, yeah, pandemied.
And then the ships look like they never got off the ground. Yeah, good, McCoy, you fucking moron. They're covered in plants.
Yeah.
Do you think the plants, when they're cleaning the plants off, they feel bad? It would be weird. Think about it. What if this tape? What if this table is made of our skin or whatever? It's like if you had human DNA in this chair. Hilarious shot of Kirk jumping up behind Agmar and grabbing him, pulling him back.
And the way he has his hands tied is like Kirk has one arm wrapped around 4 tentacles and then the other arm wrapped around the other 4 tentacles. And it's just like doing a big bear hug.
It's like an 8 Nelson.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And Agmar says, we're the last of a dying people. We once had a great mission, then disease decimated us. We're not going to get into what that mission is right now, though. And he's like, we survived, but the spore cells have been destroyed. There will be no more of our kind. And they're like, we're going to take care of Spock. Don't worry. It's impossible for you to get him back, but we got him. Don't worry.
Okay.
And so they didn't have to use the plant pepper spray on the guy because he wasn't violent.
That's good.
And they're just, and then Agmar and his buddies are like, all right, we'll take you to where Spock is. Come on. They go, hey, we'll take you to where Spock is. Let's go. So then they go into this tunnel and there's a crazy elevator. They go way down deep. And this is where they say, no wonder we couldn't get any readings down here. That's the walls are 600% times denser than lead.
Yeah, and they consider the underground their home.
And there's
since they've been traveling through. These are biggest method of transportation.
Yeah, they said we grew from the ground. These tunnels were part of our home. And then also they say this is the only light we have down here. They go, this thing. They're like, yeah, this thing we're gonna use. This is the only light down here. And it's like, oh, that's all right. You don't have. Okay, cool. No, that's definitely not suspicious at all. And then I was like, I bet this motherfucker's gonna turn the lights out or something.
Yeah, or at least confuse them.
And Kirk's like, did you hear something? And they're like, no, it's like a flapping sound. It's screeching or flapping. There it is. They're flapping sound. And then the lights go out and their belt lights don't work. And it's like, yeah, no shit, dude. You know what that flapping sound is? You have a name for them. They're called swoopers, motherfucker.
Yeah, and they very much state the obvious in a Saturday morning cartoon-esque way where Kirk's like, oh my gosh, our belts are out and the lights are out and we need to see what we are shooting. And then he's like, all right, let's just go towards the light. And they're all just, this is funny black shadow.
Yeah.
And he's just like, all right, just keep running. Stay close to each other.
In the distance, there's the little pinhole end of a hallway.
Yeah. Just
of
a
light.
little pinhole of light.
And they get down there and the swoopers don't come into the lab. And then this is a lab and Spock is laying on a table and he's knocked out. And then Caniculus 1 is like, Spock is like, Bones is like, his brain functions are receding. And Caniculus 1 is like, hey, just like Caniculus 1 lives on in all of his clones, so will Mr. Spock live on in his clone. Behold, gentlemen, the dawning of a new era. And he says, the salvation of a galaxy. Spock 2.
Yeah.
Al, what are we looking at, Al?
It's this really funny superhero pose that Spock has with the same face, but it's just
Spock
a towering Spock over Sulu.
He's 50
Kirk,
feet tall.
And Bones. Yep.
50-foot tall Spock.
50-foot tall Spock.
With his hands on his hips like Superman. It's
Yes.
absolutely fucking awesome.
An absolute unit of a man.
Yeah, I was going to say, think of the hog that he must have on him, that fucking Vulcan. And then it comes back from commercial to swoopers entering the lab finally. And then Sulu and the boys put on their KN95 masks and they put one on Spock, and then they fog the fucking swoopers with the
chemical
McCoy
spray.
mist. With the McCoy mist, and then Big Spock and Big Caniculus cover their mouths and walk out a door. Oh man, it's so fucking funny because the swoopers get knocked out. Oh
yes,
I feel like so.
And that's
Bones,
one of the best lines in the whole episode
in all of the series. Bones says, "Great granddaddy's weed spray still works." I posted that that's what 4 generations from now, that's what they're gonna say when they like find their great grandpa's vape. They'll be like, oh, great grandpa's weed spray still works. And now they're gonna get Spock out of there, but they can't really because his brain is mush. And he's going to be dead in a few minutes, and they can't contact the Enterprise because of all the electronic stuff.
Yeah, and what's going on, though, is that Bones goes, he just can't no longer think. He's just drained. He's being drained of, like, some energy. Mm-hmm. And, evil mad scientist is behind him and is like, of course, that is exactly what's happening.
I'm back here
transferring information. It sounds like, when you move a bunch of files from one folder to the other.
Yeah, he's dragging and dropping the files. Yeah, he's doing a copy-paste. I feel like this is definitely a drag and drop situation, not a copy-paste. It seems less accurate. And so basically he's saying he's transferring, and there's no wires or anything going to Big Spock. He's just somehow transferring his consciousness from Little Spock to Big Spock. And then so Big Spock is standing in the way, and he's just kind of looking at Kirk, and Kirk's like, I'm ordering you to get out of the way, Big Spock. Get out of here, Big Spock. You're too big and logical.
Yeah, he's like, all right, big guy, let's just calm down.
And remember, on the ship, and meanwhile, on the bridge of the ship Enterprise, Uhura is trying to decode information about Caniculus that may help them solve what's going on, and they can't make contact with the captain. So she's trying to get through to give Kirk information, and Scotty is saying, I want the entire power load of the ship directed into that tight beam transmission. And Uhura is like, but you're going to risk us bringing on everything. You're risking total drain of our dilithium crystals, she says.
Yeah, and he goes, I'm afraid so.
And don't I know it, lass.
Don't I know it, lassie.
But we must speak with the captain.
No, it's funny, too, that he's like, we need to put everything except for environmental controls onto this tiny little transmission beam.
I love these shots of big Spock and Caniculus like looking down on the little shadows of the people.
Yeah, and it's this is when the episode actually gets really clever at the very tail end, because
so good.
as soon as Kirk seems out of it, and Spock does bring it up too at the very end, that he brings up the whole logic issue in that he goes, okay, bet. If Spock's head and all of his mind and information has gone over to this bigger clone, like, it's Spock. So he's just going to talk to the big Spock as if it was Spock.
Yeah, and something else at the beginning of this sequence, the big Spock starts coming online, basically.
Right.
Bones is like, he's coming out of it, Jim.
Yeah, Jim's asking him, like, or Kirk is asking him for help, and the big Spock just isn't responding.
So here's how Kirk puts it, because how Kirk is putting it is, it's illogical for Spock 1 to have to die so that Spock 2 can exist.
Yeah, his name's Spock 2, that's right.
And Spock 2 lifts his massive eyebrows when Kirk's like, explain that, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's like, that makes actually no sense. Why would you need to destroy something to create something? Why would you need to be 50 feet tall? He even says near the end.
Why would Vulcans would say that Spock's death is meaningless? And this is where he goes,
yes.
Look. If it is only to create a giant version of himself.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly the line.
So he's going to be the beginning of a master race. And that's great. And then Kirk says, hey, the Enterprise is calling. Big Spock, you answer it. And he throws the communicator 50 feet up into Big Spock's giant Vulcan paw.
Yeah, and I mean, out of all the episodes we've seen so far, Kirk is now 2 for 2 on throwing small items to giant people.
There you go. Yeah, right?
Yeah, it just made me crack up the way he threw that tiny transmitter. He's like, here, Spock, answer. And Spock does.
Yeah, and then he goes, Commander Spock here. And Uhura's like, oh, thank heavens. And then she's like, Spock, tell Captain I've located more information on Caniculus. The library said we went through all of his writings, and they're obscure, but there is a recurring theme in his later essays about using his master race as a peacekeeping force throughout the galaxy. Ruh-roh!
And he's like, that's why Caniculus thought he knew the perfect specimen.
That's why he needed this perfect specimen so that he can make a peacekeeping race.
Jeez.
Space Nazis.
And she's like, all right, I gotta sign off. We've reached the power drain threshold.
It's always space Nazis. Mm-hmm. You know, just when you think it's the space Italians, like, it ends up being the space Nazis. Yeah. I just don't like it. And then Big Spock, and she's like, whew, she didn't know that Uhura didn't know she was talking to a 50-foot Spock.
Or she was on speaker. Everybody was just listening to that.
Well, fair, yeah. and then Caniculus is like, I need it to make a master race and peacekeeping force because the world was all fucked up. And Kirk is like, there's been peace in the Federation for over 100 years. And Caniculus is like, nuh-uh, fake news.
Yeah, right.
And then he goes, what about the eugenics wars, the galactic wars, the Romulans, the Zindi, the Depredations, the Klingons?
And he's like, an army of Spock duplicates is necessary to subdue them. And I was just picturing like 50 giant Spocks taking over the world.
An army of Spock duplicates is necessary to subdue them.
One for each golden rocket there, you know.
Bonkers. And he's like, you're the 5th Caniculus. What makes you think what you believe isn't just old news? You've been here for fucking centuries. You're out of touch with everything. And then this is where shit really gets awesome for me, because they say Kirk and Bones look to Agmar, the plant leader.
Yeah.
And they're like, but Agmar, why would you go along with helping Caniculus do a Nazi master race of quote peacekeepers throughout the galaxy? And Agmar is like, well, funny that you say that, because those those ships you saw, those were our Nazi ships. Like, we were going to do Nazi stuff already before Caniculus showed up and got us all sick. Yeah, no, look,
Funny you say that.
listen, let me tell you, when my first conversation with Caniculus, I was like, dude, we are on the same wavelength. We were going to make a peacekeeping force, and then everybody got sick. But I thought that was fucking hilarious, dude. Like, they were like, no, actually, we were going to do Nazi shit already.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess he saved our lives. But a disease just took out our race.
Right? And then
And
that
Kirk's
guy...
like, yo, we already have peace in the Federation.
Agmar 2 was like, all we wanted to do was bring peace to a galaxy that had none. And he's like, why do you... I'm from a post-scarcity... Come on.
Yeah, right.
We have replicators. We don't need any of this. Isn't that funny that's the thing? Like, in that there's a lower decks where they a planet joins the Federation, and they're dismantling all of their capitalist infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And of course the capitalists are mad or whatever, but it's just so fucking funny that, like, replicators are the thing.
That breaks it all.
That's what makes it post scarcity. Is like,
yeah, of course.
Boimler is like, I'm sorry, but I have to take this car, and they're like, whatever, we'll just replicate another one. It's awesome. And so he's like, look, you don't need Spock. Everybody's free already. You have to reverse the machine. And Bones is like, and of course, Caniculus won't do it. And then he
says the mold is broken.
The mold must be broken.
And then then Kirk says, listen, Spock, if you truly are Spock
2.
Spock Dos, you'll know the Vulcan symbol called the IDIC. And we've talked about that before. Infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Oh, I get it. It's IDIC.
Yes.
Symbolizing the elements that create truth and beauty. And then he goes, could an army of Spocks impose philosophical peace and Philosian philosophy on any other beings in defiance of the IDIC concept? And Spock says, I don't think so. And there it is.
Yep.
Reverse the machine. And then, of course, Agmar is like, no, he attacks Sulu. Sulu does a hip toss where his butt... Look at how good
like
Sulu's
this weird
butt works.
Ballet
Dude,
dance kind of thing.
Look at his
butt,
butt,
like
man.
A shimmy with a thrust and a toss.
Look, Tina Belcher would love that shot because of his butt. And then Agmar goes to smash the stuff around the Spock body, which I thought they were carrying him around earlier. Remember that?
Yeah, I was confused.
And then... Bones says, you murderer.
Oh, no, it's Kirk.
Kirk says, you murderer, you'll kill Spock.
You killed him, you bitch.
Right? Get away from him, you bitch. But then Big Spock 2 is like, hey, Kirk, I think I've got a better way to do this. And
he's like, look, maybe I don't want to negate he's like, I'm going to negate your statement here. And then he just does the fucking craziest thing we've ever seen in this show so far.
Just puts his gigantic Spock finger right on little Spock's head, and then he does my mind to your mind, and then Spock is
your mind.
That's all you have to do to make put your mind in a mind is just...
Yeah, we've gone from taking older cells and uploading, to transistors to like make, younger versions of ourselves and older versions of ourselves. We've gone from like going to universes with like reverse time and stuff. We've messed with a lot of like mortality issues that they just haven't talked about at all.
It's good stuff.
Like, it's fucking crazy. Like the fact that Spock could have just been a cold shell, of a body. But when the big Spock was like, no, you know what? I'm going to be a logical adult here. Yeah.
Like, just, I'm Big Spock.
My mind.
Like, just because I'm Big Spock, the important part about that is the Spock part. Like,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
The fact that I'm big is... he doesn't even really use his bigness. Neither of them do.
No.
They never pick up a big rock.
No.
They never push a big thing over.
Well, exactly. One of the best parts in the line one of the best lines, is when Kirk was like, "What is the point of this other than to make a giant version of yourself?"
It's so big. And then Big Spock is like, you don't have to worry about it. There's not going to be a militia or any other Spocks. We're going to shut this shit down. And then Caniculus is like, but my whole life has been lived to do genocide. What am I going to do now?
My goal is complete.
Yeah, what is to become of me? And instead of just telling him to kill himself, Big Spock is like, I think that you can help us get a rebirth of the Philosian philosophy and enable them to contribute to the Federation. So they're going to leave Big Spock with Big Caniculus here to do science and figure out some way to contribute to the Federation. So what this means, Al, is that somewhere in the universe of like Star Trek Discovery or whatever, or the Star Trek movies, somewhere in the universe there is a 50-foot Spock.
Yeah. That they're just not utilizing.
They got a 50-foot Spock out there somewhere. Why didn't they go? He'd have knocked that Genesis device shit out in a second. He's enormous. And then Caniculus is like, I guess my life is at least as important as bringing peace. I'd be honored. And there you go.
Kirk was like, here, since you're like all into the research and science and stuff and you want to create more life, let's do some science with my Big Spock here, and we'll report your findings to the Federation.
Yep.
And the guy's like, great, I'd be honored. And they kind of like give each other this, the little Spock and the Big Spock give each other this live long and prosper sign.
Right?
Big Spock and little Spock. Yeah. And then you just see this big Klingon hand just do the sign, the Klingon sign.
And then there's a great beat with Bones, or with Kirk. I keep saying Bones instead of Kirk. With Kirk and Sulu, where he's like, hey, Sulu, do you think you could show me that body throw you did to that plant man? And Sulu's great. He goes, I don't know, sir. It isn't just physical, You have to be inscrutable. And Kirk says, inscrutable? Sulu, you are the most scrutable man I know. And scrutable means something can be understood or discovered through careful examination.
Yeah, I had to fucking Google that shit.
They're easy to understand.
Is this a show for kids? What's happening?
He's basically saying that Sulu has no complexity.
Yeah,
he's
right?
like, Sulu, you got no layers. I can do your fucking hip toss.
You have to be, complicated and interesting.
You have to be Japanese.
And he's like, Sulu, you're the most simple man I know.
Yeah, right. Directed by Hal Sutherland, written by
just
Walter Koenig.
Just his smile and his look. I don't know. It just didn't roll off the tongue. Inscrutable.
I liked it. I think I like that when Kirk makes fun of Sulu and Chekhov and Bones and shit. I dig that. So what did you think of the Infinite Vulcan, written by Chekhov?
Look, other than I did like the beginning for a bit of it. The plant people were cool, but as soon as it got to the Big Spock, like that's where all my attention was.
It's
pretty
great.
much.
I liked it.
It was honestly kind of like the new Captain America, when the Red Hulk comes in at the end, and you're like just paying attention to the Red Hulk.
Yeah,
that's
and then you're like, why
what
wasn't
happened
this
at the beginning?
Why wasn't Red Hulk at the beginning?
Yeah, you're like, what's going on?
We watched the trailer. We knew he was going to be in this.
But anyways, yes, this Big Spock. I don't know. I just I liked it. I thought it was funny though because of the implications that we were thinking about, outside of the episode of like, what was this guy's goal? And then there's just a bunch of rocket ships, and then the kicker of the plants being like, oh yeah, we were gonna impose our peace on everyone as well. He just happened to stop by with the disease.
Yeah, right.
Yikes.
That's one of my big things I wanted to talk about ruled about this were the big Prometheus vibes from Sulu when he gets pricked by that plant at the beginning, and the fact that when the plants are like, this is fucking hilarious. You're never gonna believe this, but we were gonna be Nazis. We were plant Nazis.
Yeah,
we were gonna do that. We built those ships. We got the swastikas on them and everything. And then Caniculus showed up and sneezed on us, and most of us died.
They did then he did the transmutate. I guess the cloning, right? Into the big guy.
Yeah. Then he started doing the cloning.
And then like his logic was just to clone people as they came along. I don't know. We were just like, why? And then he's going to impose peace with these giant green giants,
And he was just sitting there waiting.
These Spock 2.0s can take care of everything.
So he was just waiting around.
What if the Enterprise crew could have taken care of those pig bat things?
Right?
I mean, they did. They ended up taking care of them.
Yeah,
anyways.
they used the spray.
Oh, God, that line, too. That's actually one of my favorite lines from Bones, and he's like, my granddaddy's spray still works.
Right?
And I was like, okay.
My great-great-granddaddy's weed spray still works to this day. It's like, yeah, thank you, Bones, you folksy little motherfucker. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, and then the other bit, too, I was thinking about at the end was that when Bones is like, oh, man, if there's 2 Spocks, like... I'd go crazy.
That was last week.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Last week. And now it's playing under this. And now there's 2 Spocks. Yeah. They exist. And they let them live.
Right. And they just like, yeah, keep doing research. So I want to go back
so
really
bizarre.
quick before we recommend stuff. I want to go back to the synopsis from Paramount Plus. A mad scientist has developed a race of intelligent plant life. That is not what happens at all, dude. That's like an AI, like that's like an AI description of it that doesn't understand what's going on. This is the most wrong they've ever gotten.
They probably just saw a big person and then the plant people, and they were like,
"But that doesn't say mad scientist." You see a big guy that looks like Namor, and you think a mad scientist?
Yeah, not really.
A eugenicist has killed a race of intelligent plant life.
There we go. That's a little better.
Yeah, I think like here's the, if I was, because you know how they're always too on the nose, I would be like the Enterprise encounters a mad scientist who makes a 50-foot Spock clone. And that's it. That is the Infinite Vulcan. And that means that we have time for one last segment on the show.
Yes.
Captain, Adam and Al are recommending things. I repeat, Adam and Al are recommending things.
What do you got for us this week, Al?
Well, we have season 3 of Invincible.
Yay, I can co-sign on this one. It's real good.
Yes. This show is fantastic. It's I'm not going to say it's only getting better. The action is getting pretty wild. It's very, what's it called? I don't know. It's getting more serious too. And you can tell that they're trying to expand the whole universe and all that. And like things are getting more real beyond the planet Earth.
I like that it makes it feel like it's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, there's a lot they still need to cover.
Yeah, how many issues was the comic?
It was like 70 or 80, I want to say.
Oh, that's not very many.
Yeah, but like a lot happens. They do a lot of time jumps too. So like maybe they'll implement those time jumps a little better. And then we have like multiverse shit, and then I don't know. That's when it gets crazy too.
I like that it's kind of like a parody of all the superhero stuff.
Oh, they nail
time
everything.
travel,
yeah.
multiverse. Yeah, they do it as good as anybody else that does it.
And then there's a very big battle that's coming up too that they're leading up to. And I mean, all the voice acting is really good too. I don't know if I've recommended this already though, but also the new Spider-Man show.
Right, Spider-Man freshman year.
Nuts.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man freshman year.
It's crazy.
It's pretty good. I
mean,
it.
I think like some of the animation feels a little stiff sometimes, and like some people are like, it looks like cutscenes from a video game, and it's like, who cares? Like,
does,
I mean, if you pause it, sometimes it does, but it's like if you pause it, I guess the idea is that like. Every frame is a comic book.
I watch this shit.
Yeah, seriously.
I watch Star Trek.
Okay, we're talking about ships, being pulled by a little vector line.
I want to, like, no bones about it. I love Star Trek the Animated Series, unironically. It is good stories. Yeah. I like it. So it doesn't really matter to me if the animation is like Pixar or whatever the fuck.
It's going to get it is a little stiff, but it's like, as the episodes go on, they're kind of understanding like what they can get away with and what they couldn't. And like the action's getting a lot smoother and it's a little better. Well, and we'll see where the voice acting goes too. But like so much I like of that animated show, the Spider-Man one, is that they just kick and reveal so many things like just from the get-go that it's like kind of a completely different, take on it. But at the same time, like they're still using like, I don't know, references, but to their advantage, right? Like they label one of their characters Tombstone, and it's like this
you know who
Tombstone
he's
character,
going to be.
exactly, and it's like this Tombstone character is like a psychopath.
Yeah, and then you're like, how is this?
Yeah, like
this
how's this
football star going to become a psychopath?
It's so bizarre, and like things that. There's no high school stereotypes though, which is funny. Like there's no bullying jock or anything. There's
no
they
Flash
blow
Thompson.
right past that. Yeah, there is no Flash Thompson
because they send him to a gifted school right away.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
so
But we'll see who the Flash Thompson is.
Before I do
Good point.
before I do my recommendation, I just want to say, are you familiar with it was probably like around the time you were fucking born. The MTV animated series of the comic book The Max.
No.
So there was a comic book by this guy Sam Keith in the 90s called The Max, MAXX, and it's about this big purple bruiser of like a creature who's like an unhoused person, like a homeless guy. And you don't really know anything about him, but he's like friends with this Julie Winters lady who's like a social worker that met him somewhere. But so the point is, when MTV adapted The Max, they took Sam Keith's art and basically just animated around it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I fucking loved that shit. So when I see the Spider-Man show, it reminds me of that.
Yeah,
Like because it was for real, because I loved The Max, the comic book. And then when I saw that they were doing this series, it was a huge fucking deal. And then it was like part of an animation block, and they said that The Max was going to come out, and then it never did for like a year. It was a whole fucking thing. And then it ended up being the best comic book cartoon ever, because they just took Sam Keith's art and just like animated the hair or like expanded it, and the voice acting was great. But yeah, The Max, check it out. We can find something about. We can find a little bit of it.
I was reading a couple issues actually. I think I started.
I have the first
like
25. I have the first 25 in my closet somewhere.
Oh, it's just so distinct.
Yeah, Sam Keith is one of my favorite comic book artists of all time.
Immediately what it is, and it sticks with you. It's super dark too.
Sam Keith, it's like very content warning, sexual assault.
Yeah.
It was an Image comic when they were super gritty.
Yeah.
Sam Keith was one of the original Image Comics guys. So The Max, check it out. But my actual recommendation for today, I think I may have recommended this before, but I'm listening to a podcast called YKS, Your Kickstarter Sucks.
Oh,
and it's these two guys, Jesse Farrar and Mike, I forgot his last name, but it's been going for many years, and they just every week they talk about Kickstarters that are crazy. They do like a 6-pack of Kickstarters where they talk about these Kickstarters, and they're just funny guys in Nashville, Tennessee, who they're also like big streamers, but I don't watch any of that stuff yet.
Streaming's crazy. Yeah, that's a big commitment.
But yeah, and they have like a Patreon that I haven't joined yet, but I probably will. They were friends with the dudes from Guys, that other podcast that I recommended that I really like.
Oh, yes.
But there's like 300 in motorcycle. That person's dick is huge. The podcast Guys kind of turned me on to these folks, and so Your Kickstarter Sucks. The free ones are great.
Okay.
And there's 370 episodes or something, and I'm just listening to them from newest to oldest. So check it out. But that's it. So watch Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man freshman year. Watch Invincible. Watch The Max. Find it on YouTube or something, because it's hard to find. I had a bootleg DVD of it for a long time, because I had it on VHS at one point, but they left an episode off because there was a rights dispute with it. Anyway, and then also, of course, the thing that I recommended, Your Kickstarter Sucks. Check it out. And of course, come on back next week.
What are we gonna watch next week?
That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah. Come
on back next week for I had it written down, but I fucked it up. For the Magics of Megas 2. That'll be season 1, episode 8 of Star Trek the Animated Series. We're talking about it next week. Come on back for the Magics of Megas 2. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Trek in the Valley is executive produced by Adam Ordall Quinnell and Al Hirt. Theme song by Al Hirt. Recorded by Adam. Mixed and edited by Al. Check the show notes for our socials, and you can email the pod at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Like, subscribe, review, and always explore strange new fucking worlds.